Hey everybody! In today's video, we will explore the differences between wild and domestic rabbits. They are so often confused with each other, but much like dogs and wolves, they actually look and act quite differently, living very separate lives, with the biggest separation being that domestics cannot survive in the wild. And wild rabbits would absolutely hate living with humans. And in many continents, except for Europe, the domestic and local wild rabbit are each a different species and cannot even mate with each other. But we will break this down a bit further into the video. Oh, and if you're wondering where hares fall into this spectrum, check out our video on the differences between rabbits and hares. If you like this content, please subscribe and give this video a like. Let's hop right into it. Number 1, physical appearance. Wild rabbits typically have slimmer faces, a more streamlined body with longer legs, perfectly adapted for darting across open fields or navigating through dense undergrowth. Their fur tends to be coarse and thick, often in shades of brown, also known as agouti, gray, or less commonly black, colors which are effective for camouflage against predators. Their ears are proportionally larger, aiding in detecting potential threats, and on average they are smaller than the domestic rabbit. Domestic rabbits, on the other hand, come in a wide range of shapes, sizes, and colors due to selective breeding. In fact, there are almost 100+ domestic bunny breeds recognized globally. Most breeds have compact, rounded bodies and overall rounder faces with chubbier cheeks, while others feature elongated forms. Their fur can vary from short and sleek to long and fluffy, with an array of color patterns and textures. Some coats even have spots or stripes, and eye colors can range from brown to pink to blue. Ears can also be upright or floppy. Number 2, lifespan. In the wild, the life expectancy of a rabbit is relatively short due to the constant pressures of predation, disease, and environmental factors. On average, wild rabbits live for about 1 to 2 years, although some may survive slightly longer under favorable conditions. Domestic rabbits, when provided with proper care, nutrition, and housing, can live significantly longer lives. Depending on the breed and individual health, domestic rabbits these days are living 10 years of age or longer, with the oldest recorded rabbit living to be 16. Number 3, habitat. Wild rabbits inhabit diverse ecosystems, including grasslands, woodlands, and even urban areas. They rely on their natural surroundings for shelter and protection, often creating elaborate burrow systems or seeking refuge in dense vegetation. Their habitats are contingent mostly on their food sources. In contrast, domestic rabbits live in controlled environments indoors with human caregivers. They may have access to enrichment and environments that mimic outdoor burrows such as tunnels and hidey houses, chew toys, and hay. Number 4, diet. While both domestic and wild rabbits are strict herbivores, wild rabbits primarily feed on fresh grasses, leaves, twigs, and bark. Their digestive systems are specialized for breaking down fibrous plant matter. They also consume a variety of herbs and weeds depending on seasonal availability. Domestic rabbits have similar dietary requirements, but tend to eat larger portions and have a more varied diet consisting of commercial pellets, hay, leafy greens, commercial sweets, and occasional fruits or vegetables that would be considered exotic or difficult to attain by the wild rabbit, such as bananas. It's essential for domestic bunny owners to provide a balanced diet to prevent dental problems and obesity issues, which are not typically seen in the wild rabbit. Number 5, sleep schedule. Wild rabbits are crepuscular animals, meaning they are most active dawn and dusk. This activity pattern helps them avoid predators that are active during the day or night. During the daytime, wild rabbits often rest in burrows or hidden spots, emerging during low light conditions to forage for food. They sleep less than domestics, at around 6 hours a day. Domestic rabbits, while still having crepuscular tendencies, are heavily influenced by human schedules and may adjust their activity patterns to align with their owners' routines. Domestic rabbits also sleep much longer and can sleep between 10 to 14 hours a day. Number 6, intelligence. Wild rabbits exhibit keen observational skills, quickly learning to recognize potential threats and safe foraging spots. Their ability to navigate complex terrain and locate food sources highlights their spatial awareness and problem-solving capabilities. Domestic rabbits, while living in a more controlled environment, they display their intelligence contingent to their interaction with humans. They can learn to recognize their owners, respond to verbal cues, and even be trained to perform simple tasks or tricks. For example, pet rabbits can be trained to use a litter box. They exhibit curiosity and inventiveness, exploring their surroundings and finding creative solutions to obstacles. Number 6, speed. Wild rabbits are renowned for their agility and speed, which are essential for evading predators in their natural habitat. They can reach speeds up to 45 miles per hour in short bursts, utilizing their powerful hind legs to propel themselves forward. This speed allows them to quickly escape danger and navigate through dense vegetation. Domestic rabbits, while still possessing some degree of agility, don't tend to go over 25 to 30 miles per hour unless it's a matter of life and death. Selective breeding for traits other than speed, combined with more sedentary lifestyle in captivity, has resulted in reduced overall agility and speed. And finally, number 8, sociability. Wild rabbits exhibit various degrees of sociability depending on species and environmental factors. Some species, such as the European wild rabbit, of which the domestics are descendants, live in large colonies with complex social structures. Now, other breeds of wild rabbits, like the American cottontail, actually live quite solitary lives and tend to branch out on their own once they reach adulthood. And they don't have much of a relationship with humans. They are not docile as they have not been domesticated. Meanwhile, domestic rabbits, when properly socialized, can form strong bonds with and become attached to humans and other bunnies or animals. However, it's important to remember that most domestic rabbits are still very territorial, and bonds with other rabbits must be built carefully. When rabbits are not born into existing groups, like in the ancestral colonies, the bonds are typically man-made, which are often successful but can similarly be broken and cause fighting. Because of how the domestic rabbit has evolved, being dependent on humans, they do not need to live in colonies like their ancestors. But they do need companionship, whether it's with you, another bunny, or another animal. So what do you do if you see a rabbit while you're out and about? First, try to identify if it's wild or domestic based on some of the physical characteristics mentioned in this video. For instance, if you see a spotted bunny with blue eyes, it's domestic. It could be lost or abandoned. In this case, immediately call your local rescue organization, or if experienced, try to catch them using safe capturing methods. If it's a wild rabbit, leave them be. In many places in the world, it's illegal to capture wild animals. Either way, wild rabbits are pretty skittish and totally unused to human companionship. They would make very bad pets. Wild rabbits may also carry diseases and parasites that can be transferred to your pet rabbit. If the wild rabbit is hurt, you can call animal control or a wildlife rescue. And the final question is, can the domestic rabbit and wild rabbit mate with each other? Well, as previously mentioned, it depends. A domestic rabbit can mate with a wild European rabbit, of which it is a direct descendant. But with any other species of rabbit, such as the cottontail, commonly found in the Americas, it cannot. Would they even like each other? Well, it's hard to say. There is evidence that they might have a natural curiosity about each other and understand each other based on video footage, but territorial behavior may still ensue at some point. So, did I miss anything else in this video? Comment down below. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you all soon.